all fired up now? That's probably the case. We call this time, Lord, just to lift our thanks up to you, and Father, we thank you for our holiday season. Lord, we're just so thankful that we're off to the start of a new year. Lord, we ask your continued blessings on all of us, on this Department of Transportation in the state of Georgia. And Father, be with us as we go through this board meeting and these proceedings. We ask this in Christ's name. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, wait.
I'll do a roll call. District 1, Ms. Purcell.
Present.
2, Ms. Williams.
Here.
3, Mr. McIntyre.
Present.
4, Mr. Brown. 5, Ms. Key. 6, Mr. Bowen.
Present.
7, Mr. Thompson. 8, Mr. Golden.
Here.
9, Ms. Dunn. 10, Mr. Boswell.
Here.
11, Mr. Lewis.
Here.
12, Mr. Morris.
Here.
13, Ms. Lemon.
Here.
And 14, Mr. Grappling.
Here.
Okay. Approval of minutes for December board meeting. That's a motion.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion second, discussion. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, meeting minutes approved. Okay. Report on projects of February 2024, Len Albert Shelby.
All right. Well, good afternoon, Chairman Brown,
Good
Commissioner,
afternoon.
and members of the board. I'm here to present the projects the department is proposing to advertise for the February 2024 letting. Before we present February, here are our FY 2024 results. We have let a total of 157 projects this year. This chart shows the number of projects by improvement type. The value of these 157 projects is approximately $1.23 billion through the December 2023 bid awards. Of the 157 projects, 150 were GDOT let at a value of $1.16 billion, and 7 were local let with an approximate value of $77 million. This chart shows the dollar amount distribution by improvement type, with maintenance, safety, and bridge projects making up the bulk of these improvements. Here are the results of the December 2023 letting. Of the 11 GDOT let contracts presented to the board, 10 were awarded and 1 was rejected. Now I'm going to discuss the projects in the February 2024 letting. We have a total of 12 projects with 10 GDOT and 2 local lets. The next 2 slides list these 12 projects arranged by congressional district. So as you can see with this slide, we are letting a variety of projects throughout the state to address bridge capacity, enhancement, maintenance, and safety issues. Our first highlighted project, we will resurface State Route 53 from County Road 148, which is Hill City Road, to State Route 515 for 2.8 miles in Pickens County. This next project will replace the existing State Route 38 bridge and overflow bridge spanning the Satilla River with a new bridge. The new bridge will have 2 12-foot lanes in each direction and a 14-foot center turn lane. The bridge was built in 1923. 101 years ago, and it was widened in 1982. Here's a ground view of that bridge to be replaced. Famous last words. This next project is going to be locally delivered, and it will reconfigure approximately 1.01 miles of US 278, which is State Route 10, in the city of Avondale Estates, from a 5-lane section to a 3-lane section from Sam's Crossing to Ashton Place. This will provide multimodal travel in each direction, widened sidewalks for pedestrian travel with ADA accessible ramps, crosswalks at intersections, landscaping, seating areas, and pedestrian enhancements. This next project converts the existing intersection of Cedars Road and State Route 316 in Gwinnett County to a right-in, right-out ramp-served intersection. The intersection project length is approximately 0.67 miles and includes on and off ramps for State Route 316 to connect to the north segment of Cedars Road. Access to the southern section of Cedars Road will be closed, and the existing crossover section of median on State Route 316 for vehicular access will be demolished and replaced with a depressed grass median section. Approximately 2,000 feet south of 316 and south of the existing railroad tracks, Cedars Road will be converted into a cul-de-sac. This next locally delivered project will provide pedestrian safety improvements and a multi-use trail on Lenox Road between State Route 141, which is Peachtree Road, and East Paces Ferry Road near the Lenox MARTA rail station. This is another good example of our continued collaboration with the local governments to deliver projects. This next project addresses safety and pedestrian connectivity along State Route 3, which is Northside Drive, adjacent to the Georgia World Congress Center campus, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and the Vine City MARTA Heavy Rail Station for 0.2 miles. Improvements include pedestrian curtains to deter jaywalking and a raised center median, sidewalk widening, and new pedestrian lighting. This next project will upgrade signal equipment and pedestrian facilities to meet the current ADA standards along State Route 14, which is State Route 154, also known as Lee Street, at 10 locations. This next project consists of 3.20 miles of widening and reconstruction of State Route 515 and US 76 in Union and Towns counties, east of Blairsville from Earl Shelton Road to Sampson Road. This is phase 2 of the corridor, with phase 1 having let last August. The proposed design includes 2 travel lanes in each direction with a 32-foot depressed median. The next project consists of 2.4 miles of widening of State Route 9 from State Route 141 to State Route 20 in Forsyth County. The proposed design includes 2 12-foot lanes in each direction with a 16-foot raised median and 16-foot outside urban shoulders, including an 8-foot multi-use path. We will also be advertising in March a design-build project. The actual let date is June of 2024. We're issuing a public notice of advertisement early to hopefully receive an abundance of bids. Oops. There. Yes, so this design-build project is part of the strategic deployment of dynamic messaging signs that will provide assistance to motorists at critical decision points at multiple selected locations throughout the state of Georgia. The project includes installation of potentially 3 or 4 dynamic messaging signs. Locations have yet to be determined, but most likely will be near hurricane and truck routes and gaps within our current corridors. So we have 12 projects proposed for the February 2024 letting, with 10 GDOT and 2 local lets. This chart shows the distribution by improvement types. The estimate of the projects in the February letting are approximately $195 million. This chart shows the dollar amount distribution by improvement type. I now ask for your consideration for approval of the proposed projects presented for the February 2024 letting.
Their motion?
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, the motion carried.
Thank you.
Mayor Malcolm.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the board and commissioner, good afternoon. Pleased to present to you the proposed revisions to the construction work program. I have two sets of revisions to present to you today. The first one is coming to you for the first time for review. It is a proposed deletion from the program in Gordon County, Congressional District 14. This one will come back to you next month for board action. And then I have two revisions coming to you today that I brought to you last month for review at the time. Two proposed additions to the program, drainage improvement projects in DeKalb and in Cobb County. And so these are coming back to you for recommended action at this time. I'd be happy to take any questions.
I say motion. Second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Commission. Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, ladies and gentlemen of the board. It's a pleasure to be with you in the afternoon. Thank you all for trying this new meeting format. I'll start with our, as we always do, with our state fund collections. Looking back to December, funds collection total $22.42 million, excise 4.8, transportation fees 17.5. Fiscal year to date, $752 million, and the breakdown of that's excise about $636 million and $115 million in fees. And as Selena presented this morning on the budget, don't worry about what those collection numbers look like because we are fully budgeted. I appreciate Mr. McIntyre's clarifying question this morning that our budget has been totally filled from when the excise tax was suspended. So our budget was totally filled, plus the additional $1.506 billion in the amended year. That's nothing to sneeze about. So fantastic news from a budget point of view. So really good news there. Now, Josh mentioned in his presentation this morning just a little bit about the federal continuing resolution that has to be solved before tomorrow, by close of business tomorrow. That may or may not have an impact on your ability to approve projects for the March letting. As Josh mentioned, we get a daily pro rata share during a continuing resolution of funding, which makes it a little bit hard to obligate a full project when you get a 1/365th share going forward. And so we'll keep you posted and see what happens. As Josh mentioned, March 1st was their target. We'll just have to see how all that plays out and see how that impacts our federal program. So we'll keep you in tune there. Next is always report our employment figure. We closed out the end of last year, December, at 3,902 full-time employees. We lost a little bit of ground. We hired 27 employees last month, but lost 38 to separation. So still hovering right at 3,900 employees. Our procurement activities for December were busy with 135 professional services contracts executed, valued at $28 million. That brings our fiscal year to date professional services contracts to over 1,045 to be exact, totaling $466 million. And I remind you, that's the things, the design, geotechnical, environmental work, right-of-way services, construction management, everything it takes to deliver a project where we rely on consultant resources to supplement and do a lot of the work with us at GDOT. So we'll move into some projects that open to traffic in the month of December. Always hard to open projects to traffic in December due to the weather usually. But we'll start in the 1st Congressional District in Liberty County, which is GDOT District 5. Project was 7 miles of milling and inlay and resurfacing on State Route 119, north of Airport Road to south of State Route 144 there in Liberty County. Contractor was APAC Atlantic. Finished up right before Christmas, a nice Christmas gift on December 20th. That 7.1 miles of widening was $5.4 million. And there you can see the pictures there of the resurfacing. I will explain on the right side is you see the asphalt as the turn lane, but if you look to the left toward the other lanes, they're white. That's called concrete white topping, and especially in our southern districts where it gets very hot in the summertime, where trucks stop and start at signals, it causes the asphalt to rut out. So often you'll see, especially in District 5, you'll see concrete as you get to traffic signals where the stopping and the starting happens at, so it doesn't rut the asphalt up as much. So anyway, when I saw that picture, I was like, why is that not resurfaced? Well, it's white topping, that's why. We call it concrete white topping. Let me back up. Next, we'll move into Congressional District 2, move up the road to Dooley County on I-75, which is in GDOT District 3, and this is replacing Finley Road over I-75. This bridge was an original vintage interstate bridge, the overpass, when I-75 was built, so we're glad that Clearwater Construction Incorporated was the contractor that replaced this bridge over I-75. It opened to traffic on December 1st, and it represented a $6 million investment. We'll stay in Congressional District 2 and move on up I-75 to Bibb County, which is also GDOT District 3. And this project consisted of construction of a roundabout at US 80 and Knoxville Road in Bibb County. This is a very busy intersection. C.W. Matthews Contracting Company is the contractor that delivered the project, also opened it to traffic on December 1. And you can see the residential area there to the picture on the left. This is a very busy location, which used to be a very angled, skewed intersection. So a much better traffic flow pattern. Obviously, we heard about safety from Kelly Roberts this morning. Of course, roundabouts have inherent safety benefits just by their design themselves. So glad to get that done. And also, one of my favorite sayings, it was ahead of schedule. The completion date of this project was June of this year. So glad to have it done ahead of time and get the good people in making Bibb the utilization of a roundabout sooner rather than later. Going to move into Decatur County now, GDOT District 4, 5.6 miles of milling and resurfacing on State Route 27. The contractor was Oxford Construction Company. It opened to traffic on Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th. Represents a $4.4 million investment on those 5.6 miles. Yeah, if you're doing the math in your head, that's about $780,000 a mile. And there you can see what the good work on 27 looks like. Now let me move into a couple of honors, updates, and achievements since we were together last. And I'm going to get a little bit ahead, okay? Because tomorrow is a very special day. Somebody is going to have a birthday tomorrow. And it will be a speed limit sign. And it is not 70. I didn't name a name, but she might have just gave it away. But it's not a 70-mile-an-hour sign, but it would be a speed limit sign. So happy birthday in advance to you, Dana. Congratulations. Stacy just made a comment, and that's not a legal speed limit. Yeah, y'all take that up with each other afterwards. Let me call your attention to this magazine that many of you have seen. It's called Georgia Trend. Maybe you've heard of it. And I was really surprised when I opened it up. Let me open it up. And there's none other than this guy, Robert Brown, recognized in Georgia Trend. Mr. Brown is Georgia Trend's 2024 Most Influential Hall of Fame member. Obviously, this Hall of Fame recognizes Georgia's leaders who has previously earned a spot as a Most Influential Georgian, and Chairman Brown joins past Hall of Fame inductees, including people like this. Get a load of this. Some guy named Arthur Blank, Jimmy and Rosalind Carter, Ted Turner, John Lewis. Wow, that's a list to be proud to be on, Mr. Brown. It is certainly a very high honor. In addition to being 2020 Georgia trustee, again, one of the state's highest awards, who recognize those go above and beyond. And what I did not know about Mr. Brown, as it says here in the headline, is Georgia's Citizen Architect. And I just thought, okay, well, you've been a good citizen, and I know you're a great architect, but that actually means something more. And let me read this. Citizen Architect is a member of the American Institute of Architects who goes above and beyond to adhere to the highest ethical standards and take a role in the citizen advocacy of their communities, of which you have been on this board and many other boards throughout your life. So congratulations to you, Mr. Brown. Well deserved. Now, staying with the awards and themes, I guess they've had the Emmys and Academy Awards on TV recently, so we're going to stay in the awards theme here. And we did our employee recognition of annual awards at the end of last calendar year. It was a real pleasure to go around to the districts with Brad and Angela and Meg and Andrew Heath and go out to our districts and give out some really well-deserved recognition. But right here after the December board meeting, this room, we turned around and turned it into an awards presentation with 110 people, GDOT employees here in person, and over 1,000 online for our annual awards, which we gave out 46 awards for outstanding work in the 2022 calendar year. Okay, we did this in December. We usually do it earlier in the year, but things didn't work out, so we're recognizing achievements back into 2022, which is confusing, but anyway, we'll catch up. Unfortunately, due to time considerations, I'm not going to go through all 46, but I do want to take a moment to recognize the really big statewide winners. And let me tell you what these awards are. One is the Sean Kornacki Award, and I'll talk more about that. One is the Wayne Shackelford Leadership Award. That is the highest honor here at GDOT in recognition of the late Transportation Commissioner Wayne Shackelford, and also the James F. Condren Award, which is a Federal Highway Administration award, and I'll speak to that. The Sean Kornacki Award, of course, is new for 2023. It will be presented annually to one of Georgia DOT's Highway Maintenance Foreman 2 or below in the organization, who demonstrates a commitment to safety on Georgia's roadways and the citizens that has exemplary service. The employees demonstrated a willingness to go above and beyond the call of duty, has made a positive impact on their colleagues and the department, shows the extraordinary dedication to the Georgians in keeping traffic moving safely and efficiently. While this is named for Sean Kornacki, who tragically lost his life on the job last year, and I certainly appreciate Micah's acknowledgement of that last month as well, it's bestowed in recognition of all the GDOT employees who've lost their lives in the line of duty. And so this year's recipient's been with the department for more than 10 years and demonstrates a very positive can-do attitude. And the Sean Kornacki Award winner this year is James Mason. James started his career as an equipment operator 1 and currently serves as the foreman in Brantley County Routine Maintenance Headquarters. He was recognized for his major role he plays in equipment training for new employees. Congratulations to James for all he does and this recognition as the Sean Kornacki Award winner. The next award is the Wayne Shackelford Leadership Award. It's a single statewide award presented to a GDOT employee who's consistently demonstrated exceptional leadership, commitment to the department, and service to the public. And this year, in the department's highest award, its recipient is distinguished by his or her expertise value and ability for a positive role model, and just an excellent leader overall. This year's recipient possesses a wealth of knowledge and experience, and continually proves to be an invaluable asset to the department, not only to the department, but at the national level, serving on the Committee on Design, and has been a dedicated steward of making our designs better and training our staff. And the Wayne Shackelford winner is Andy Casey. Andy's in contributions to the Office of Roadway Design, the department, and the national transportation community over the past 3 decades have been outstanding. So really, really excited for Andy. Thank you. The James F. Condren Award is named from former Federal Highway Administrator, Transportation Engineer James F. Condren. It is a memorial to his contribution to the agency and is bestowed by the Federal Highway Administration. So this is Sabrina's award to give. The award recognizes a GDOT employee for their outstanding performance on their job during the year by adding value to a project or a program, establishing effective partnerships with federal, state, and local agencies, and using new technologies or innovations to improve the effectiveness of the highway program. This year's James F. Condren Award winner was Brent Murphy. Brent is a 22-year veteran with the department, having served in the maintenance office, Forest Park Lab, which we call OMAT, and currently the District 5 Area 1 Baxley Construction Office. Congratulations to James, Andy, and Brent for their employee recognition awards. And a big shout out to our communications team and our here at One Georgia Center, our districts, for pulling this off. It is a little bit like the Academy Awards, minus movie stars and tuxedos. So, but it's a great day to highlight the great work that all our staff does. Now let me move away from some awards and recognitions and talk about money. We were very excited that last month Secretary Buttigieg visited Millen, Georgia, to officially announce a $12 million grant from USDOT to help the railroad crossings blockages that happen in Millen, Georgia. Certainly appreciate Brad Saxing attending and speaking there. In addition to the Secretary, Speaker Burns, Senator Max Burns, and Representative Parrish and Senator Ossoff all attended with other city and county officials. So for this Millen project, the grant award will fund the piece of project aimed to help resolve the blocked rail crossings that happen in Millen. Millen is sort of the nexus of Norfolk Southern coming out of Savannah and Columbia, South Carolina, that comes west over to Atlanta. So they get trains coming out of South Carolina and the port that all converge in Millen. And so Millen has one railroad overpass currently, which is adjacent to their schools on a city street. So when the crossings are blocked, they get a lot of truck traffic, undesirable truck traffic right in front of the school on a local road. So this grant money will certainly be a big help with the ultimate goal of providing a rail overpass at the bypass to provide an option to go over instead of have to wait on a blocked crossing. Also very appreciative of District 2 and our ITS team here in Metro Atlanta for putting out, if you might recall, probably a year or so ago, we put out technology with signs in advance of the crossings. If the train's blocking the crossing, you'd get a warning in advance so that you wouldn't just drive up to the crossing and stop and have to wait on the train. So good news coming to Millen, Georgia. Now let me talk about bad things here that I don't like talking about, but just want to again highlight our great work of our staff. Never like to talk about winter weather. I really do not like winter. Just ask my wife. I would tell her that every day when I come home. And so, but I just want to again highlight the great work of our staff to deal with the weather that was predicted and forecast Monday, again Martin Luther King Day, into Tuesday of this week. The winter advisory was put out. Obviously, GDOT District 6 started responding on Sunday in Northwest Georgia. Pretty much all of District 6 was included in that watch and warning area, and they really did a great job. And of course, District 1 pre-treated their roads in advance of what was forecast up in the mountains of District 1. And also District 3 and District 7 also included in preparing for that. Again, we started working on Sunday, preparing for that weather. And of course, the forecast kept changing. In all, we had 475 employees working over the weekend and the holiday. We treated almost 10,000 miles of roads in advance. Put out 321,000 gallons of brine and about 1,400 tons of salt and a gravel mix over the last couple of days to be ready. So just again, hats off I want to especially commend District 6. Up in the very northwest part of the state, they did actually have snow accumulation, slush, freezing rain, and all that. And so they worked very hard. And just again, a great exemplary effort. But I do have to warn you that there's some winter precipitation in the forecast going into Friday night. And so tomorrow, District 6 will do some pre-treatment up at Fort Mountain, and District 1 will do some brining up in Rabintown's Union area, and we'll have crews on standby and some skeleton crews in overnight to treat what could be some freezing rain that may come down into Friday evening into Saturday morning. So, just never ends. So looking forward to summer. All right, let me move forward. Talk about the Transportation Research Board annual meeting. The 103rd meeting was held last week at Washington, D.C. I remind you that the Transportation Research Board is part of the National Academy of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine and provides leadership in transportation and innovation through evidence-based information exchange, research, and advice regarding all modes of transportation. The annual meeting attracts tens of thousands. I think this year was about 17,000 people from across the globe attending TRB. And here is who we had attend that actually presented. And this is a high honor to be invited to present on topic areas of transportation research. And so you can see who attended. And these are the people that presented at TRB. So it's quite an honor to have, again, professional staff be part of the not only national but world conversation as relates to transportation. So very, very honored to have our people participate. Now, staying with that same theme of research and having great people to do work, well, it all starts somewhere, and it usually starts at a very young age with your interest into the sciences and technology and engineering and math, which is STEM. And I'm really proud to announce that we've had our first partnership with the Georgia Department of Education, and to introduce students in K through 12 about STEM education, especially as it relates to transportation. We're working with St. Mary's Middle School in Camden County, down on the Florida border, which has an 8th grade project dedicated to teaching students about becoming transportation engineers. Where was that when I was in school? So I don't know. The students' work is learning about transportation and the work to redesign the St. Mary's River Bridge, also named as the Big Blue Bridge on US 17 at the Florida border. That's actually Florida's bridge, Brad always reminds me. But you can see it there on the screen. GDOT formed a team to host a transportation day where they met with 340 students and introduced them to the exciting world of transportation. Additionally, throughout the school year, we'll be working with the teachers to create materials to support classroom learning and acting as advisors on student projects. Since this partnership began, we've received glowing feedback from the Georgia Department of Education, including the following statement from a Department of Education representative, and I quote, "The 8th grade students told us about your visit, and I've even heard from several young ladies that they are now considering becoming an engineer and would like to work for GDOT. Many of the students even told us that they did not know there were so many different types of engineers and that they might consider engineering as well. I think this is the biggest positive to these relationships. We expose students early to careers that they may have never considered. Thank you for everything and for being willing to support this school." So I think that sums it up pretty well about what a great outcome that is. And again, a special thanks to Nicole Glenn and our HR recruiting for fostering this partnership. You saw Nicole speak a couple of months ago. Patrick Allen, Troy Pittman, Don Diggerman, Jonathan Martinez, Nathan Barnes, Robbie Skipper, and Kevin Leffert, all for their support of this program. Touching 340 students is fantastic. So we have a lot of good work to do going ahead too, for getting people that ultimately can go to TRB and talk about shaping transportation of the future. So, Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report. I'll be glad to entertain any questions or comments.
Questions?
Thank you.
I'm in Daniel Newman.
Mr. Chairman and fellow board members, I am extremely excited and saddened at the same time to read the following resolution. And before I share it, I would like to ask Kathy and her husband and her son if they'd like to join me here at the podium. I probably should let Houston read the resolution. He'd probably do a better job than me. So, anyway, a resolution by the State Transportation Board, whereas Kathy Zahle is retiring from the Georgia Department of Transportation after 28 years of dedicating her life's work to improve roads and bridges through her dedicated service to the state of Georgia. And whereas in 1995, Kathy began her career at GDOT in the Division of Construction and spent her first 7 years at the department managing projects in Districts 1 and 3. She then served as a regional bridge inspector in the Office of Bridge Maintenance before transitioning to the Office of State Aid, where she assisted local governments with resurfacing and bridge improvement projects. Her passion for safety took Kathy to the Office of Traffic Operations, where she worked with safety partners statewide to implement Georgia's first strategic safety plan and managed the department's lump sum safety and signal upgrade programs. In 2010, she moved to GDOT District 7 to serve as the state traffic engineer and was later named district engineer for the district which serves Metro Atlanta. During her time in District 7, Kathy was responsible for all District 7 efforts to respond to countless emergency events, including winter weather, sinkholes, and the I-85 bridge collapse of 2017. And in 2021, Kathy was promoted to her final role at the department, Assistant Director for Strategic and Systems Planning, where she led multiple critical activities, including liaising with the Atlanta Region's Metropolitan Planning Organization and developing the department's first Planning for Performance initiative to support project funding decisions. And whereas Kathy has received numerous accolades throughout her 28-year career with the Georgia Department of Transportation for her work on the US 78 lane conversion project, she was named the 2007 Evermore CID Community Champion. She was awarded the Bike Friendly Agency Staff Blinky Award in 2014 by the Atlanta Bicycle Coalition. Engineering Georgia magazine included her in their 50 Women in the Know in 2021 and one of the 100 influential women in Georgia in both 2022 and 2023. And most recently, Kathy was named the 2023 Transportation Professional of the Year by the Georgia Institute of Transportation Engineers. Whereas Kathy Zahle is a graduate of the National Operations Center of Excellence Operations Academy, the state of Georgia's Executive Leadership and Development Program, the University of Indiana's National Transportation Leadership Institute, and the Advanced Leadership Institute. She was honorably and successfully represented the department on several AASHTO committees and subcommittees, and as a member of the Markings Technical Committee of the National Committee on Uniform Traffic Control Devices. And whereas Kathy is a graduate of Auburn University with a Bachelor of Science degree in engineering and holds a professional engineering license in Georgia. She currently resides in Auburn, Alabama, with her husband, Terry, and her son, Houston, whom she credits as the two reasons she was able to successfully serve the state of Georgia for 28 years. Therefore, be it resolved that the State Transportation Board recognizes Kathy Zahle for her exemplary contributions, her loyal service, and for her leadership and unwavering commitment to the citizens of Georgia and the Georgia Department of Transportation. And be it further resolved, a copy of this resolution shall be spread upon the minutes of this meeting, and a suitable copy be presented to Kathy in honor and recognition of her retirement from the Georgia Department of Transportation after 28 years of service to the state of Georgia. Mr. Chairman, at this time, I'd like to present this resolution in the form of a motion.
I second.
Aye.
Thank you, Kathy. Did you want to hold it? This is you. Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner, I regret this is not on a 3.5 by 5, but I will be quick, I promise. I know y'all have been, it's a long day. It has been my sincere pleasure to serve the people of Georgia through my work here at Georgia Department of Transportation. Over nearly 3 decades, I've worked for and with some of the finest transportation professionals and support staff in the country. In the last several months, I've been honored and humbled by the appreciation and support expressed by GDOT leadership and my fellow employees, both in-house and consultants. Throughout my career, I've been keenly aware that I'm like a turtle on a fence post. Everybody and I all know that I didn't get there alone. I want to first thank my father for insisting that I finish my engineering degree. And I will forever be grateful to Hugh Tyner, Larry Caudell, and Larry Dent, who, after a grueling interview, hired me as one of the first female construction engineers in the construction industry, and Commissioner McMurray, who then was a CET, who showed me the ropes and the inside of a few very small concrete drainage pipes that first summer. I knew Georgia DOT was going to be like a supportive family when my recruiter, Jerry Morgan, came to my house one day when I was sick, and then continued to go above and beyond to ensure my well-being as a trainee living alone in Atlanta. On the training program, I met Buddy Gratton, who can encourage me to look beyond the district and explore opportunities in bridge maintenance. There, I met Bill Duvall, who provided the encouragement and support I needed to pursue my professional engineering license. I loved bridges, but traffic safety was my true calling. I learned something important from nearly everyone I worked for or with, but I'd like to thank a few people for some specific lessons along the way. Keith Golden for getting me on the path to reducing crashes strategically and always allowing me the latitude to make the right decisions for the right reasons. Tom Turner for teaching me that a benefit delayed is a benefit denied. Philip Allen for encouraging me to get on the balcony or even higher and get the 20,000-foot view. Gerald Ross for insisting that I make quick decisions. Todd Long for teaching me that I didn't have to save every email I ever sent or received. Meg Perkle for showing me how women can be leaders while still being ourselves. Linda Thomas for reminding me that I'll learn more from inspectors in the field than I ever did in school if I just listen to them. Linda Westcott, Linda Kay, Charity Gabriel, and Hannah Simmons for doing their level best to keep me on schedule. Jimmy Smith for trying to teach me not to start before others finish. Monica Ivy, Brian Robinson, and the incredible HR staff for their advocacy and support during some of the most challenging times for hiring and retaining employees. Scott Higley and his amazing communications team for helping us engineers share our stories, since we don't tend to do that very well on our own. He also taught me, by the way, to use a script instead of going by memory. Procurement and legal partners whose knowledge and guidance always helped me get the job done the right way. And Janine Miller, who consistently goes above and beyond and whose strategic vision continues to strengthen the Department of Transportation. And it would literally take me all day to name everybody who's had an impact on my career. And I don't want IT to start the exit music. But I can't leave without saying that from our incredible board members, executive management, division directors, office heads, district engineers, and those people that our public sees on our org chart, to our hardworking heroes and every equipment operator, one who responded to that snow and ice event and other emergencies every day. I couldn't have asked for better people to work for and with. I'm proud of my accomplishments at Georgia Department of Transportation that improved safety, enhanced operations, supported business development, and advanced emerging technologies. But mostly, I'm proud to see some of my former employees and mentees that are now on that public-facing org chart. And I also love knowing that many others are still on their way there. I hope that somewhere along the way I had at least some positive influence on their development. I pray that they know how much I care about them and that I've always had their best interest at heart. I know they'll continue to do great things because the best always strive to make things better. Thank you again for the resolution. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Everything else, Dan? Any questions?
I have not a question, Mr. Chairman, but I just wanted to make a point that as we were honoring you through Georgia Trend, that also we had several other individuals within our GDOT family that was recognized, including our commissioner with us. And I want to say congratulations to all of those that were listed. And also there was another magazine that just came out, and it was Georgia Trend, recognized in the top 500. And I wanted to say that our chairman, Robert Brown, was also listed in that as being a living legend. So what better could that be? And also our commissioner was recognized as being one of the top 500 individuals and influential in the state of Georgia. And that goes for all of us. Don't we have a grand group of individuals, not only on the board, but throughout our GDOT family? So I want to say thank you to all of you and your special recognition that you have had in honoring GDOT as you have here. So thank you.
Very well.
If not, thank you, Ms. Priscilla. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you. I didn't know you were going to do that.